Well, folks, we have a presidential election coming up. Donald Trump is running for re-election against Joe Biden. We are going to have a new president, or Trump will be re-elected. And the question is, how will the outcome of this election affect you, your family, and your immigration case? Everybody wants to know the same thing. What will happen if Trump wins, and how will it be different if we get a new president in Joe Biden? What's going on, everybody? My name is Josh Goldstein. I'm an immigration lawyer in Los Angeles. And if you're new to this channel, I create new videos each week and I explore different immigration topics. I'm all about helping people and their families get unstuck and overcoming immigration obstacles so that they can achieve their immigration dreams. The topic today: what will happen with immigration if Donald Trump is reelected? The best way for me to answer that question is to tell you a story about what happened in 2015 when Trump was running for president. I had a client who is a sort of a famous person who works at Breitbart. That's true. I don't share his politics. He's a great guy. I really like him a lot, even though I don't agree with him politically. His point that he made in 2015, he said, listen, Trump is not against immigration. He's not against immigration. He's just against illegal immigration. He wants to make sure that immigrants come to America, but they're doing it the right way. That was the point that he made in 2015. That was his response to my criticism of Donald Trump. Once Trump became president and had political power, no longer was he just against what he called illegal immigration. He became against other forms of immigration. For example, asylum is a legal process. There are laws that govern how people apply for asylum, and there's a process by which asylum claims are reviewed. Once Trump got into power, he and his administration changed the rules and restricted asylum and stripped away the ability for asylees to apply for immigrants. And that's just one of many, many examples. The bottom line is that Donald Trump and the GOP and the Republican Party in 2020 are united in their hatred of immigrants. They have a racial animus against immigrants. The Republican political party and Donald Trump are united in their opposition to all forms of immigration. They're against immigrants in general, and they have vilified immigrants. Trump's persona is clearly identified with white nationalism, the notion that immigrants are bad and that are evil and that they're rapists and terrorists. And, he used the myth of the caravan in 2018. I think we're going to see much of the same thing we've seen for the last 4 years, only I think it's going to be much worse. Trump will have no chance of being reelected because presidents can only serve 2 terms. He'll be able to do whatever he wants with immigration with impunity without fear of the political consequences. Not that he had any fear of the political consequences last time, but he'll be able to act with impunity. He's appointed a tremendous number of judges in the federal circuit courts and federal district courts and U.S. Supreme Court justices. The notion that the courts will stop President Trump from taking action that harms immigrants has been dispelled. Trump will be able to do pretty much whatever he wants with impunity. During his last presidency, or during his current administration, he's implemented a child separation policy. He's stripped away the rights of immigrants to apply for legal immigration. The H-1B program's been tampered with. He's used the pandemic as a excuse to stop the issuance of visas in whole broad categories. The people that Trump has put into place, Ken Cuccinelli at USCIS and Mike Pompeo at the State Department, they share his white nationalist views. They hold immigrants in contempt, and they use all the tools at their disposal to restrict the rights of immigrants by changing the rules, making it harder, making it frustrating, and running the agencies in an incompetent way. Ken Cuccinelli would be very happy if no one gets a green card anymore and no one becomes a citizen. And Mike Pompeo would be perfectly happy if there wasn't a single visa issued to anyone. And that's what we see with all the visa delays and all the other acts of incompetence. When you email the consulate and they never get back to you, that's by design. And when you try to get in touch with the National Visa Center and they don't get back to you, that too is by design. Donald Trump is reelected. We can expect a continued assault on the legal rights of immigrants and their families. That's what we can expect. It's a very dour topic. You should have no doubt who I'm voting for, or who I have already voted for. That's what we expect if Trump is reelected. Now, for an alternative view, what would happen if Biden's elected? Click on this video here.